The crown looks ancient, solid, untouchable, but the money behind it? That part is surprisingly modern and quietly uncomfortable because the royal family's wealth isn't just inherited treasure passed down from medieval kings. It's a financial system built over centuries, now rewritten when convenient, and still running today, mostly out of sight. To understand it, we don't start with Charles. We don't even start with Elizabeth. We start with a king who was broke. In 1760, King George III had a problem. Running a kingdom was expensive. Wars, palaces, staff, wars, politics. And the crown's income was unstable. So George made a deal with Parliament. He handed over the profits from his vast lands royal estates that technically belonged to the crown to the government. In exchange, the state would fund the monarchy's official duties. It sounded temporary. It wasn't. That deal created the crown estate. And this is where the confusion begins. The crown estate is not the king's private property, but it's not normal government property either. It belongs to the crown, which is a legal concept, not a person. Think of it like this: the monarch owns the role, the state manages the assets, and the public is told the system benefits everyone. Today, the crown estate includes some of the most valuable land in the UK. Luxury property in central London, office buildings, shopping streets, Windsor Great Park, and even the seabed around Britain. Which means offshore wind farms part of the country's energy future pay rent to it. Yes, the ocean floor sends checks. In recent years, the Crown Estate has generated over £4 billion a year. $4 billion. Almost all of that goes straight to the treasury. So the monarchy gives money to the government? Yes, and then the government gives money back. Every year, a percentage of Crown Estate profits is returned to the monarch through something called the sovereign grant. This is the official public funding of the royal family. Right now, it's set at 25%. Which means if the Crown Estate earns £4 billion, roughly £1 billion is allocated to the monarchy. That money isn't handed over in cash. It's meant to cover staff salaries, palace repairs, state visits, travel, ceremonies. But here's the key detail. The sovereign grant rises when Crown Estate profits rise. Automatically, no annual vote, no renegotiation, no public approval. And this is only the visible part of the system, because the king also has private income. Two major sources, the Duchy of Lancaster and the Duchy of Cornwall. They sound medieval because they are. The Duchy of Lancaster belongs to the reigning monarch personally. The Duchy of Cornwall traditionally funds the heir to the throne. These aren't symbolic titles. They're enormous property portfolios, farmland, commercial buildings, residential developments, investment assets. Together, they generate tens of millions of pounds every year. This money is classified as private income, which leads to a detail that's always phrased very carefully. The monarch is not legally required to pay income tax. They do pay it, but voluntarily. The king chooses to pay tax, which is very different from must. And then there's the wealth no one can quite put a number on. Palaces the monarch doesn't technically own but lives in. Art collections held in trust. Crown jewels that can't be sold but always accompany the roll. It's wealth without liquidity, power without receipts. You can't sell Buckingham Palace, but you also don't pay rent. Supporters argue the monarchy pays for itself. Tourism, brand power, diplomacy, continuity. Critics respond with uncomfortable comparisons. Tourism doesn't vanish in countries without kings. France still does fine, so does Italy. And the sovereign grant doesn't include indirect costs, police protection, security operations, military coordination, road closures, lost development opportunities on royal land. So, is the monarchy a profit center or a luxury expense? The honest answer is neither. It's a legacy system, designed when kings ruled by right, adjusted just enough to survive democracy. And that's where the real tension lives. Because this system doesn't survive on math. It survives on belief. As long as the monarchy feels distant, dignified, and restrained, the cost feels abstract, symbolic, acceptable. But when living standards fall, when public services struggle, when inequality becomes impossible to ignore, the gold gets louder, the ceremonies feel heavier, and the question becomes harder to avoid. The royal family doesn't hide its wealth, it doesn't need to. Its money is woven into the state itself, which leaves one final thought. If this system were proposed today with today's values, today's transparency standards, and today's public scrutiny, would anyone vote for it? Or does it only exist because it was built long before anyone thought to ask?